about Johnny Somali, and this Hank Yu is back in the mess. What he did with Johnny Somali will now have consequences. So if you watched my last video, then you already know the context. Johnny Somali scammed YouTube and violated YouTube's policy to get ad revenue. As you know, Johnny Somali was totally broke. He had nothing left for financial support, so he tried to earn money from his old criminal clips. From his old IRL streaming video,
Welcome back to a series so adorable, even this doggo subscribed. In today's video, a clip is going viral of Hassan treating his dog very poorly. People are very mad. XQC has responded doing the frame-by-frame analysis. Ethan is absolutely disgusted. Tectone is calling out Hassan. Destiny has responded. Anissa is the only person left still defending Hassan. Hassan has responded denying the allegations. People have done some digging and uncovered more damning clips about the situation. Hassan's own radical lefty friends have also called him out. Asmongold has responded, subscribe to save Hassan's dog from his 10-hour streams. Now let's begin with Hassan being exposed for treating his dog poorly. Basically, if you didn't know, Hassan has used his socialist money to purchase a designer dog that he keeps as a showpiece in his stream, and he gets very...
Alright, I'm just getting off my plane, and some of you guys saw the most recent upload today, and you might have noticed there was a massive mistake there because I decided to post the video while I was on a plane on that limited Wi-Fi because I only had text. So I had one of my editors post the video without me reviewing it. I had them review it, and that was a really bad mistake, and it's 100% my fault because I should have just waited until I landed right now and posted the video now after I've reviewed it. But after the video posted, I got anxious and I decided to pay for the $8 Wi-Fi to watch the video. I click on the video, it finally loads, and within the first 3 seconds I go, oh no, this is really bad. Because in my intro I said, this man is facing 5 years prison for burning down someone's house. And I showed the victim instead of the guy who did it in the intro. And then, it was later on in the video, I also pointed at the victim and called him a pyromaniac. Oh man. So I'm trying to find where's baggage claim here. I'm traveling right now because I'm appearing on a podcast. But yeah, massive mistake. I am so sorry to Friendly Jordies for that. Thankfully, only 10,000 people saw it until I pulled it. I pulled it within the first like 5 or so minutes. But yeah, we're uploading the real version now, or the new and improved. The way it was supposed to be is being posted right now, so stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I'm sorry that happened. Big lesson learned there. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Alright, I'm just getting off my plane, and some of you guys saw the most recent upload today, and you might have noticed there was a massive mistake there because I decided...
Welcome back to a series so people are calling out Hassan.
Johnny Somali started cutting down the clip.
Out, Asmongold has a designer dog that he keeps as a showpiece in his stream, and he gets very annoyed if she dares move from her spot. Here we got a clip going viral, Hassan reaching for something and seemingly shocking his dog to keep her in camera view.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby. It's just, you're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom. No, she doesn't want to come over here to see what's up. She just wants to fucking roam the house because she got to roam the house when I was gone, and she needs to literally
clips and uploading them on his YouTube channel. This channel was monetized even 4 to 6 months ago. I don't know who subscribed to these channels, but even now his videos are getting a decent number of views. After all of this, YouTube has finally listened to us, and now Johnny Somali is on the verge of getting banned. I'll describe everything in today's video. Let's get started. So here you can see the biggest exposure of Johnny Somali. On the Twitter account Johnny Somali, he already replied to my last video. You can see Johnny Somali saying, "Dear YouTube team, this video is referring to the channel Johnny Somalia. His 2 previous channels, Johnny Somali and Johnny Somali Live, were banned for violating the terms of service. Now he's doing a ban evasion under a different personal name. He even admits it himself in this video. Even YouTube's official team replied to Johnny Somali saying, 'We really appreciate you bringing this to our attention. Mind reporting the channel in the official reporting tool if you haven't yet. This page has more info on how to do that.' So as you can see, this issue is no longer simple. The YouTube team might already be getting involved, but it doesn't even end here. Another context we found shows that Hank Yu and an ex-American felon helped Johnny Somali with his new YouTube channel. They reportedly put the channel under Hank Yu's name, which is still ban evasion and a violation of YouTube's terms of service. You can clearly see how this worked. Johnny Somali's original channel was banned from the YouTube platform, meaning he's not allowed to access a new account. So he used Hank Yu's account, meaning another person's account, which is also considered a YouTube policy violation and potentially a scam against YouTube. Even the legal mindset tagged the YouTube team, asking, "Can you answer this question?" And another person commented, "Him getting banned doesn't even matter. He'll be back the same day. If it's just an account ban, maybe a week or 2 for him to figure out how to get around a hardware ban." Honestly, I agree with that, because Johnny Somali has done this many times before.
Look, we got super chats enabled. We got channel memberships enabled. We're doing Q&A. Anybody sends super chat through the YouTube, or I got Botrix PayPal enabled. We got Power Chat enabled. If other is gonna leech off our names, right? Right. We also gonna leech too.
Did you hear what Johnny Somali said? He said that before he actually made his channel to quote-unquote leech off others. That means, according to him, since everyone is exposing Johnny Somali and making money using his name, he believes he should also make money from it. That's what Johnny Somali actually said. But what he needs to understand is that what he's doing isn't just content. It's something others are using as awareness of what's wrong. And what he's trying to do right now is clearly criminal, nothing else. Remember before how Johnny Somali threatened everyone, saying he would come back to YouTube no matter what?
Fuck my haters. Lolly mindset, pedo mindset of Tozy. We winning. We not going nowhere. We run this country. You guys think I'm going to jail? I have freedom, and we're showing you freedom here. Look how happy I am, man. Look at this. You can't take the smile off my face. The ops, my enemies. Everybody on YouTube. I'm coming back to YouTube soon.
So, as you can hear from Johnny Somali himself, he even predicted before that he would come back to YouTube soon, and now it's actually happening. Not only that, he also cursed all of us, from Legal Mindset to Atozi. Literally everyone was cursed by Johnny Somali. And the crazy part is, everything he threatened before coming back to YouTube, he's now doing exactly as he said. You can also see the reactions in the comment. One person wrote, "Somali, Vitali, Sly Kane, Homeless, Deepak, Suspendus, Sam Pepper all need to be banned for their substandard, below-the-belt content. These streamers are a nuisance to society." Another said, "This waste of breath has ruined traveling for everyone." I completely agree with that one. Another person commented, "Please cut Johnny off social media forever." And one more wrote, "I live in Asia and have lived here for more than half my life. It's frustrating to look at people like Johnny Somali and his copycats. They are not welcome here." Some even said, "I hope Somali gets 34 plus years in jail in Korea." So, as you can see, a lot of people are completely against Johnny Somali. They want him banned from social media and to face a long prison sentence. But is that what Johnny Somali intends? Actually, no. Because if you've seen his old clips, Johnny Somali mocked South Korean law, saying that since he's an American citizen, the South Korean government can't do anything to him.
I'm going to show you guys how far I can push the boundaries, and I'm going to show you that the Korean government is not going to do anything to me. Because I'm an American citizen, A. And B, the Korean legal system is not as strong as people think and perceive it to be.
Did you see that? That is the intention of Johnny Somali for all of the site. Because if you ask Johnny Somali why he violated YouTube policy once again, maybe he'll say YouTube can't track him and can't do anything to him. That's what he even said before.
So technically it's Hank's channel, right? I'm gonna just name it Johnny Jewish. So how are they gonna ban me? It's Hank's channel.
So Johnny Somali is actually the person who's literally committing crime after crime, violating the rules of South Korean law and the top platform in the world. Johnny Somali is day by day making himself an international criminal. Most South Koreans are thinking right Somali is day by day making himself an international criminal. Most South Koreans are thinking right now that Johnny Somali by day making himself an international criminal. Most South Koreans are thinking right now that Johnny Somali should be in custody while his trial is going on. Johnny Somali should be arrested because if he's still free, he will do more things that you can't even imagine. Even another expert, Dr. Nade, talked about his issue before.
Koreans are quite sick of him, and they've been saying, you know, just arrest him. He has showed planning, he has shown foresight in the way that he has committed the various crimes that he's done.
I completely agree, but what the South Korean authorities are doing is too slow compared to others. I know South Korea takes quite a bit of time for sentencing, but it's actually helping Johnny Somali avoid proper punishment. If South Korea fails to punish Johnny Somali properly, then it can become a very bad situation for everyone. It's even possible that Johnny Somali could somehow escape from South Korea. And if you see now how he's re-uploading his criminal clips on YouTube, violating the rules again, isn't that a clear sign that Johnny Somali is threatening everyone or giving a challenge that he can do anything? Guys, let me know your opinion on that. But here's another thing. As you know, Johnny Somali's trial is coming up this month, so he'll probably once again try to defend himself by blaming others. What he said. Just listen for a second.
He's gonna go talk to the prosecutor to get the child sexual violation dropped
From the TTS, okay.
from the TTS,
Okay.
text to speech.
If somebody sends something in Korean that I don't understand, it's not my fault.
So I think you already understand what Johnny Somali is going to say in his next trial. Just like his idol Sean Diddy Combs, Johnny Somali might beg for mercy from the judge and ask to be forgiven and deported without any charges. Johnny Somali could actually be planning that. And when he's asked why he uploaded all those criminal clips on YouTube again, what do you think he'll say? Guys, I really think Johnny Somali should be permanently banned from social media. Just take a look. Johnny Somali is still collecting ad revenue from YouTube. I don't know how much he's making, but whatever the amount, he's clearly trying to profit. If he manages to make more money, isn't it possible he could try to escape? As a criminal who's supposed to stay in custody during his trial, how can he be earning money from content based on crime? Is that even legitimate? Guys, you tell me. I think not only Johnny Somali, but also Hank Yu should be held accountable. Rumors have been spreading for many days that Johnny Somali and Hank Yu are under new investigation. But if the South Korean authorities don't take Hank Yu seriously, then he and Johnny Somali will once again start making the same kind of propaganda they created before.
Spreading propaganda. We spreading propaganda. We spreading propaganda. We spreading propaganda. Yeah, we spreading propaganda. We spreading propaganda. We spreading propaganda.
So I think it's actually time to hold both of them and their channel accountable. Their channel should be banned completely because Johnny Somali is earning money through criminal activities, and that should never be allowed. What do you think about all of this? Let me know.
I'll confess, I can't remember the last time an astronomical story triggered such a sense of urgency. Over the past few days, internal channels between observatories and science newsrooms have been buzzing with messages, preprints, hypotheses, rebuttals, graphs sent in the middle of the night, emails with all caps subject lines. Everything revolves around a tiny dot crossing through our solar system that apparently refuses to behave as it should. What's this all about? Well, you'll find out in the next 13 minutes. You know that endless list of books, podcasts, and articles you meant to get to? I had the same problem until I found short form. Now, instead of feeling behind, I'm finally catching up. They've got the best in-depth book guides, but it doesn't stop there. You also get master guides that combine multiple books into one clear overview, summaries of articles and podcasts, and even a browser extension that can summarize anything online, even YouTube videos and research papers. It feels like having a personal research assistant in your pocket. I recently used it to catch up on Psychology and Decision-Making with Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. In just minutes, I had the key takeaways plus perspectives from newer works like Noise, which built on the same research. It saved me hours of reading while still giving me depth. So if you want to learn smarter, not harder, check out Shortform. Head to shortform.com/insane for a free trial plus 3 months off when you sign up for the annual plan. I'm talking about the interstellar comet 3I Atlas, the third object ever identified as coming from outside our system, and with everything it's revealing bit by bit. Like a poker hand slowly being played, It's spreading amazement, excitement, and skepticism throughout the scientific community. They call it a comet by convention, but the definition, many say, is already creaking under the weight of the data. For weeks now, telescopes like Hubble, Sphere-X, JWST, and even TESS, designed for completely different purposes, have been observing it at every possible wavelength. And almost every time, the results that come back show a small deviation from predictions, a minimal but significant variance, something suggesting that 3i Atlas's story is more intricate than we thought. But let's start from the beginning. On July 1st, 2025, the Atlas Alert System in Rio Hurtado, Chile, spots what appears to be yet another comet. But something doesn't add up. Orbital calculations show this object isn't orbiting our sun. It's coming from outside, from interstellar space. It's only the third visitor of this type we've managed to identify with certainty after Oumuamua in 2017, that cigar-shaped object that caused such a stir, and Borov9 in 2019. But here's the first oddity. When astronomers went back to check old images from the TESS Space Telescope, they discovered the comet was already visible in May when it was 6 times the Earth-Sun distance, about 560 million miles or 900 million kilometers away. And here's what you need to understand. Comets at that distance are normally dormant ice balls, invisible. But Atlas was already active, already surrounded by a cloud of gas, as if it had switched on too early, violating the rules of the game we thought we knew. When the James Webb Space Telescope pointed its powerful infrared eyes at Atlas, scientists' jaws dropped. The comet was primarily expelling carbon dioxide, not water vapor as you'd expect. To put it in perspective, it's like discovering that instead of normal exhaust fumes, a car is emitting rose perfume. Technically possible, but definitely weird. The ratio of carbon dioxide to water turned out to be 8-1. In our solar system's comets, even those rich in carbon dioxide, this ratio rarely exceeds 1-1. It's as if Atlas came from a place where the rules of cometary chemistry are completely different. Scientists started wondering, what kind of star system did this thing form in? But it wasn't over. The spectrograph showed intense lines of atomic nickel, while iron seemed almost absent. In all solar system comets, these two elements appear together in similar proportions. Here, not so much. As if the comet had been selectively distilled, or as if it came from an environment where iron never had a chance to condense. Cosmic chemistry experts talk about a differentiated nucleus, where metal-rich zones have been removed or destroyed. But others, more cautious, suspect we're observing surface phenomena we don't yet understand. An interaction between radiation, gas, and dust that mimics that anomaly without really implying an exotic origin. Yet every attempt to normalize 3i Atlas ends up failing. Polarimetry data from the Very Large Telescope added another paradox. The reflected light showed an incredibly deep negative polarization branch, with an inversion at 17 degrees, a combination never seen in any other comet. It's as if the particles were made of something completely different. Hollow grains, perhaps, or porous dust capable of scattering light chaotically. Every hypothesis seems more absurd than the last, yet the data is there, solid, verifiable, replicated by different observers. As weeks passed, the comet continued to amaze. During the lunar eclipse on September 7th, several astrophotographers noticed a sudden color change. The comet, which had been reddish until then, had turned an intense, almost iridescent green. This phenomenon is usually linked to carbon molecules, but Atlas contains very little carbon. Some scientists talk about non-linear photochemical processes, others about thermal fluctuations releasing trapped gases. But in the more heated discussion forums, even among researchers, a question circulates that no one dares ask openly. What if the comet is genuinely more complex than we imagine? Not artificial, as sensationalist blogs suggest, but equipped with physical mechanisms not yet cataloged, a legacy of birth conditions that challenge our parameters. Hey guys, just a moment before we continue. Be sure to join the Insane Curiosity channel. Click on the bell, you'll help us to make products of even higher quality. But the real bombshell comes when a Harvard team led by Avi Loeb, the Harvard astrophysicist known for his provocative ideas about aliens, decides to crunch some numbers. They start collecting data from 227 observatories worldwide, thousands of precise measurements of the comet's position. Their goal? To figure out how massive it is. You see, when a comet approaches the sun and starts puffing gas like a dragon, these jets act like tiny rocket engines that push it slightly off course. It's a minuscule but measurable effect. The lighter the comet, the more these jets deflected. It's pure physics. Try blowing on a soccer ball and then on a bowling ball. Which one moves more? Well, Atlas barely budges. Despite losing 330 pounds or 150 kilograms of material per second, the equivalent of a small car evaporating every minute, its trajectory remains almost undisturbed. The conclusion is that this comet, to remain indifferent to the thrust of degassing, must weigh at least 33 billion tons or 30 billion metric tons. That's 3,000 times more massive than Borov9 and 300,000 times more massive than Oumuamua. And faced with this data, Avi Loeb didn't hesitate to raise a question that sent chills down many colleagues' spines. If Atlas is really this big, where are all the smaller objects we should have discovered by now? The ones the size of Oumuamua and Borov9. Put like that, it might not seem to make much sense, but let me explain the problem with an analogy. Imagine fishing in a lake. Logic tells you that you should catch hundreds of minnows before pulling up a shark. Yet in the case of interstellar objects, we caught a medium fish first, Oumuamua, then a small one, Borov9, and now a sea monster, Atlas. According to the laws of statistics and what we know about the size distribution of space objects, we should have seen at least 100,000 small interstellar visitors before encountering one this large. 100,000. And instead, we've seen only 2. It's like winning the lottery 3 times in a row. Technically possible, but suspiciously improbable. And here's where Loeb drops the media bombshell that went around the world. We should at least consider the possibility that it's not a natural object. Now, before you jump out of your seat, let me clarify. Loeb isn't saying it's an alien spaceship. He's saying we have an object that violates so many expectations that we should at least check if it shows signs of artificiality. It's the difference between crying wolf and saying, that dog is strangely large, let's make sure it's really a dog. Obviously, such statements couldn't go unnoticed. Tom Statler, NASA's lead scientist for small solar system bodies, promptly intervened to throw cold water on the fire. Look, this thing looks like a comet, behaves like a comet, does all the things comets do. It's just a bit eccentric, like that weird cousin we all have in the family. NASA emphasized that there are perfectly natural explanations for all the anomalies. The weird chemistry, it could have formed in a star system with different element proportions than ours. The enormous size, maybe small objects disintegrate during interstellar journeys and only the big ones survive. The anomalous nickel, there are natural processes that can separate metals under extreme conditions. But even the skeptics admit we've never seen anything like this. At this point, if you'll allow me, I'd like to bring some order to this whole affair. Based on the data presented, my opinion is that there are 3 truly substantial anomalies
million a year because we won't cancel
2
Tucker.
million.
I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes,
Ooh.
Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I can
They play into all the stereotypes. Jesus, man. Literally no dates, and I could contact and say, Charlie Kirk, I understand that people are saying that this is fake. I understand that they are, but the Turning Point USA has come out and confirmed that these are authentic and real.
not and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave.
Because that's
pro-Israel.
That's the first thing I believed. That's the first, because obviously, right? Whenever you hear something like Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes, my I'm like, okay, all right, is this really what's going on here? Or are they just basically like trying to, get people into that? Show the confirmation? Well, I'm going to show this one first, but yeah.
Cause.
I didn't take it that
And
seriously.
somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat, okay?
Ooh. So then there we go. So she's released this because everybody's been calling her crazy, talking about how, blaming all this stuff on Israel. And it's going to be quite the week. Yeah, you can see all this. And let's go back over here. Does that imply Tucker is next? I mean, so anyway, this is her talking about it as well. And I am the same kind of person as well, that I think to myself,
and others knew that Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof.
Yeah, here we go.
What I'm saying.
This is the introduction.
And others knew that Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat,
That's a lot of
including
people.
Charlie. And Rob McCoy. I'm going to protect the names of the other 7 for now. To be clear, I might
Until the
actually
end of
release
the
a name
video.
every day this week, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing. Take a look.
So there we go. And anyway, this isn't even news. Tucker talked about it. No, it's not news that it happened. It's news that he was actively opposing them, right? And so here's the big one right here, is that Turning Point USA, because if you're like me, you saw this and you were like, oh, it's probably bullshit fake screenshots, right? That's the first thing that I would think. Well,
but I want to take
this is Turning Point USA themselves. This is Charlie Kirk's show confirming the authenticity of these clips.
Part of this show
for messages
to address some of the. But I want to take the start of this show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens, and I just want to address it head on because that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited.
So there it is. His own organization is confirming that this is real.
That the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange, and I felt like it didn't necessarily comport with things that were already public. I wanted to not betray my friend's trust in that way.
Sure.
But I did share it with some people in government because it happened really quick. It was, it took 33 hours for authorities to get their suspect. And in those first moments, we wanted no stone unturned. We wanted to leave nothing unturned. So I shared it with a few people. Don't know where it went from there, apparently. But here we are. So
you can't take a few messages and start making conclusions. I'm not making a conclusion. I'm saying that this
what I'm trying to say is bitches these days are too stuck up, okay? That's what I'm saying. It's obviously not me. It's women these days. They have such high expectations. Now they want you to shower every day. You're supposed to throw garbage away. I mean, come on. Like, this is too much. Good. Izzy, like, she got along. Like, I thought that we would break up within a week of her living here, and it actually took a whole 2 months. And so I think things went pretty well. And the truth is that, as I said before, no mere mortal can live with Asmongold. Apparently, like, my dad told me this. He said that one of the things that girls like is personal hygiene. I don't know why he told me that, but he just randomly brought that up a while ago. And so it's just, there are some things that kind of go up against you. And, I think, sometimes basically like what I'm...
If you have balls, this message is for you. If you know somebody who has balls, this message is also for you. I discovered something really important after doing 100 sessions of sauna. There was scientific evidence that heat negatively impacts one's fertility. So as the first part of the experiment, I tested by having ice on my balls for 21 sessions of sauna. What happened? All of my fertility markers improved. In fact, the best markers I've achieved in years. And we changed the experiment to remove the ice so there's no ice on the balls. And guess what happened? Devastating consequences. Wiped out 50% of my fertility markers. Absolute disaster. I wondered, am I going to forever be infertile? The answer is no, because if you begin icing now, the body will take 68 to 72 days and rebuild. I got my results back this week, and my trend is now starting to point up, so I'm on the rebound. The starter pack to ice your balls is I wear cotton underwear and cotton shorts. Then for the ice pack, I use a BPA-free, toxic-free, reusable pack. You just slip it in over the underwear between the shorts. This is an easy win. I'm gonna call it Don't Die Sperm. If you have balls, this message is for you. If you know somebody who has balls, this message is also for you. I discovered something really important after doing 100 sessions of sauna. There was scientific evidence that heat negatively impacts one's fertility. So as the first part of the experiment, I tested by having ice on my balls for 21 sessions of sauna. What happened? All of my fertility markers improved. In fact, the best markers I've achieved in years. Then we changed the experiment to remove the ice so there's no ice on the balls. And guess what happened? Devastating consequences. Wiped out 50% of my fertility markers. Absolute disaster. I wondered, am I going to forever be infertile? The answer is no, because if you begin icing now, the body will take 68 to 72 days and rebuild. I got my results back this week, and my trend is now starting to point up, so I'm on the rebound. The starter pack to ice your balls is I wear cotton underwear and cotton shorts. Then for the ice pack, I use a BPA-free, toxic-free, reusable pack. You just slip it in over the underwear between the shorts. This is an easy win. I'm gonna call it Don't Die Sperm. If you have balls, this message is for you. If you know somebody who has balls, this message is also for you. I discovered something really important after doing 100 sessions of sauna. There was scientific evidence that...
What I'm trying to...
If you have balls...